Welcome to Just Break Up, the podcast about love, heartbreak, and all the relationship advice you don't want to hear. My name is Sierra DeMulder.
And I'm Sam Blackwell, and today we're going to answer a letter from somebody who trusted her partner and then got cheated on. But before we begin, we just want to give you our Surgeon General's warning, which is that Sierra and I are not licensed mental health practitioners or business majors. That's a thing that's going to come up in this letter.
Yep. You will understand that in just a couple minutes. No, we're not professionals. We're not trained in this. We have been cheated on multiple times and stayed with said person. So we've got some lived experience there. But other than that, these are just our opinions. So please take our advice as you see fit. We're only here to offer our humble musings. So hopefully shed some understanding and maybe some laughs about the incredibly rewarding, but mostly confusing experience that is love.
All right. This letter comes from Miss Bell, whose pronouns are she, her, who is writing from Accra, Ghana. I met my him 5 years ago through a mutual friend. We started off as friends, but things quickly became serious between us after a few weeks of regular conversations that centered around personal development. I was impressed with how intelligent, deliberate, and focused he was about his life. He always put forth rational arguments and was an expert at looking at the bright side of things and finding solutions. He also had a way of making me feel loved and cared for through his actions. We decided to live together a year after we began dating. Right from the beginning, he made it clear to me that cheating was a deal breaker for him in a relationship and that he did not even know how to cheat. Honestly, that's like a red flag.
My dude.
Like, how do you not know how? Like, it's not that difficult.
It's like when you say a lie and you overcommit to it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's like, okay, calm down, friend. He also mentioned that if any of us cheated in the relationship, it would be discovered by the other partner. His stance on cheating was a key factor in me deciding that he was the ideal man for me and was even more appreciative of his presence in my life. I knew firsthand the unimaginable pain and stress that comes with being yoked with a cheating partner, and I felt this relationship would be different. I am divorced and have a daughter from that relationship, and he's been a great dad to her. Naturally, I am a trusting person, and once I'm in a relationship, I commit fully. I have never doubted his loyalty and commitment to the relationship. He regularly reassured me of his love and expressed gratitude for us being together. I was convinced that I had found my life partner and that this relationship would last. What made the relationship even more meaningful for me is the fact that we managed to set up a thriving business together, and so that made us not only intimate partners, but also business partners. I used to tell everyone that would care to listen that I had finally gotten the perfect partner. I felt at peace, secure, and happy. 4 years into the relationship, my nightmare was just about to start. I discovered that he was seeing a lady and had concrete evidence. I was shocked to the core and realized he was not being faithful after all. It was a painful discovery. I confronted him and he apologized and promised he would never do it again. Although I was deeply hurt, I chose to let it go, especially because the evidence did not reveal whether he was sexually intimate with her. After that incident, I would sometimes recall the cheating episode and pass some comments about it. He would constantly reassure me that he was no more cheating, and he willingly shared his phone password with me and encouraged me to check his messages anytime I felt insecure. A month ago, he left his phone at home as it was faulty, and I decided to go through it. I made shocking discoveries that clearly revealed that he was seeing other women, and even worse, that he was hiring the services of sex workers. The conversations revealed that on one occasion, he had sex with 2 sex workers on the same day. He visited the first at her house and invited the second to our home, all within a few hours. Since I made the discovery, it's been a heavy blow, and I realized that I did not really know the man I had loved unreservedly for 5 years. He was a completely different person on my blind side. The discovery filled me with pain and heartache. I can't stop wondering about his motives or reasons for engaging in such activities, as we were always deliberate about finding ways of making our sex life great. We would regularly go on short trips to rekindle the sex drive and intimacy. I am not sure how I will cope without his presence in my life and in my daughter's life after all the beautiful journey we have traveled up to now. But I have been very clear about the fact that the relationship is over and he has moved out. Most importantly, despite the pain of betrayal, I have to keep communicating with him on a daily basis as we are business partners and the business growth relies on both of us at the moment. It's very difficult navigating the situation. Both of us have agreed that we should keep working together on the business as we've invested much effort into it. How do I put aside the betrayal and keep interacting with him every day as part of the business? How can I move on emotionally?
Oh, my darling. I am so sorry for this happening in your life. And I'm grateful that you wrote us, that you felt safe, that you could trust us with this letter. Thank you for listening. But mostly, I'm just sorry. I can feel the deep-seated pain and grief and betrayal. I can only imagine what your heart and your body, what they're carrying right now, the stress and the heartbreak of it. I know it's so physical. And then to have to maintain this very painful relationship because of the business, I really feel for you. And I hope that you have a support system in place and ways to feel comfort outside of this big pain right now. Yeah, I mean, I hope you're not blaming yourself as somebody who has stayed in relationships I shouldn't have been in after betrayal. You did everything right here. You know, this person said to you that they were incredibly trustworthy and that was a value of theirs. And so what is there for us to do other than trust their humanity and trust them? You know, you did everything right. I think we've said this on past episodes. I know we have, but trusting this man isn't what hurt you. It was his chronic untrustworthiness that hurt you, right? And we're going to talk about ways that we can, I don't know, better describe carrying ourselves through this pain. But mostly we just want you to know that we see you in all this and the nuance and the complications and the heartbreak from this situation. But first, we're going to take a really quick break.
All right, everyone. Welcome back. Yeah, I think that the reality of cheating is just like so painful, you know? I think there's a reason why so many folks are so paranoid about it, because it is such a huge betrayal to your understanding, not just of the partner that you have, but also of yourself. And the way that it kind of undermines your understanding of the world and causes you to distrust your own intuition, your own ability to trust people, right? Like, you know, it's such a deep pain and it's such a deep, it's a trauma, you know? And I think about it in like a very particular sense of like trauma being something that like is so big that our bodies can't comprehend it while it's happening to us, right? And then it gets put into lots of different places and it feels sort of like separate from us. And I think that that's often what happens when folks are cheated on. So I'm so sorry that you're going through this. And I'm so sorry that he was such an audacious liar about all of the things that he was going to do for you and how committed he was going to be to not cheating. I'm so proud of you for hearing all this information and ending this relationship and saying, I can't trust you. And so therefore I don't want you to be in relationship with me. Right. I think that that's absolutely the right decision given just the depth of the lies that were happening. And I hear you asking these questions of yourself about like, why did he do it? What is the motivation behind it? Right? Like, could I have, you know, done more to improve our sex life? You know, here's all the things we were doing, you know, and I just want to like name that cheating is about sex for sure. And it's also about a bunch of other things that are not to do with you at all and are just to do with him, right? Like cheating is about attention. Cheating is about seeking validation. Cheating is about the thrill and excitement of it, right? Like there's so many different reasons why this would happen. And unfortunately, you're probably going to know, or you're probably not going to know what the reasons were for him, you know? And I bet if you asked him, he probably wouldn't know either, right? Like,
or he would give you some fancy little lie.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And but like, even if I was like his friend and sat him down and was like, we're like intimate, like emotionally intimate with each other, he would probably be like, I don't know why I did this, right? Because
totally
there's just
agree.
so much.
Yeah.
It's
got
so
this
convoluted.
Great thing. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, right? Like the reasons for cheating are not just black and white. They're often convoluted and personal and the results of our own shit that goes on in ourselves, right? Like and so I hear you trying to seek those answers, and I just want to say, like, I don't know that those answers are going to be available for you, because who knows why he did the shit that he did.
Yeah, I know. I think you brought up a great point about like the mental gymnastics we do looking back after infidelity of like both like how did this happen? We were doing all these things to connect, or like, I was sexually available to him, or, how did I cause this basically? And also we beat ourselves up for our quote naivete, like, you sharing the fact that you told somebody that you finally found like the perfect partner. I want to just say, like, I hope you don't feel naive for saying that, because again, I feel like the way we process and heal from things like big betrayals like this is we internalize them, like, oh, I should have known better. Like, how foolish of me for saying that about him. When in reality, like, every time your brain is doing that, every time you're looking for a why, or you're feeling foolish or naive, or like that you made a mistake, I just want you to pivot it hard and be like, I thought I found a perfect person because this person was presenting a perfect self to me, and they were being untrustworthy, deceitful, and stepping outside of the bounds of the relationship that we had established. They were I feel like words like narcissist get thrown around a lot on shows like ours, on dating advice on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. And I don't know the parameters of it, but let's say narcissistic behavior, right? To lie to your partner of so many years and your business partner in such a pervasive and committed way, you know what I mean? Like, to say that you don't even know how to cheat, and to do it multiple times, and to seek out sex workers, which I have no problem with, but just the prevalence of his betrayal to you in his life. It's not just an affair. It's not just a one-time thing. It's really intentionally seeking out this behavior that he knows is outside of the bounds of your committed relationship, that is not just built on your love, but it's built on your business. I don't know. This guy is truly troubled. And so anytime you are processing through what you're emotionally feeling right now, I want to make sure that you're pivoting blame, and you're pivoting those foolish feelings, and you're pivoting those feelings of guilt to him. This is all on him. This is not about your naivete. This is not about, how gullible you are, or you didn't see the signs or anything like that. None of you deserved this. No part of you deserved this. And he didn't target you because you were a particularly naive type of person or anything. He did all of these things because he's hurtful, because he's untrustworthy, and because he's hurting from something that he probably can't even articulate, as Sam said. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I want you to remember what Sierra just said about this man when it comes to thinking about the future of your business as well, right? And this man has proven himself to be untrustworthy. This man has proven himself to have a lot of impulse control issues, right? Like, this man has proven to be willing to lie to you about
like bold-faced lie.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like saying
no
exactly
white
the
lie
opposite.
in here, right? There's no like delicate, oopsie, I forgot to tell you this.
Absolutely. Like, this man has proven that his gratification is more important than your trust of him,
your safety.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I want to like bring that into this conversation about your business, because I don't trust this man to be able to be a good business partner for you. And I'm concerned that his inability to tell the truth, his inability to control his own impulses, his inability to own up to the things that he's done are going to get you in trouble business-wise, and that I don't trust him to make good on promises that he's keeping to you. I don't trust him to make financial decisions that are sound given what he's been doing. Like, I think that you need to really look at this business that you have with him. And your question is like, how do I get past the betrayal? And I want to instead invite you to think about, what is this betrayal telling you about who this person is and what he's capable of? Because it seems like he's pretty capable of fucking shit up if it works well for him. And that's not a good thing when it comes to managing a business, especially if you are investing your own money into this thing, because I don't trust him, and I don't think you should, given everything that has happened to you. And so I would encourage you to rethink this decision to continue to be business partners with him, and would encourage you to think about, what does it look like for you to get out of or extricate yourself from this business, whether he buys you out, whether you buy him out, whether you split up the assets 50-50 and move on, right? Like, again, I'm not a business major, so I really can't tell you what to do here, but I do.
If you cut the contract in half.
Yeah, that's how it works, right? Yeah. You just split the bank account and then everything's fine. No, but I like, this man is untrustworthy. And so I don't want you to trust him with the future, your financial future, with your daughter's financial future, because like he's a liar. He's a liar. He cheats. He does things that hurt other people for his own gratification. Like, that doesn't sound like a business partner that you can trust.
Yes. And I'll just add to that, like, unfortunately, I'm from the school of thought of like, this man didn't respect you enough to uphold the boundaries of your relationship. And but I bet you a lot of money that he cares a lot about his money. Do you know what I mean?
That's a good point.
while Sam is over here saying like, I don't trust him to make good business decisions, I'm of the school of thought of like, this sketchy dude, it probably cares a lot about his money, and it is probably a fine business partner. But I'm coming at it from more of an emotional, holistic point of view of like, I agree with everything Sam said. Essentially, I just think that he probably cares more about his money and his financial stability than he cares about, I don't know, your physical and emotional safety.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's a legit point.
Yeah. But I'm going to say this. If it is at all possible for you to extricate yourself from this business while still being able to, provide for your family or do what you have to do, if it is at all possible to remove yourself from this business, I want you to think long and hard about that being a priority. And here's why. You were majorly betrayed by this person. And I'm thinking about the life that you can have 5 to 10 years from now when you are over this person, when you have met somebody else, when your child is grown, you have a deeper connection with them as well. Like, do you want this person in your life? And I know this is convoluted. I know this is confusing, because I bet you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that business and your money, right?
100%.
I know that you are a worthy, like technically he should buy you out, right? No, the other way around. Technically it should be your business, right? He should leave. He should leave. There should be some sort of like hard
legal clause that if like
a lemon law.
Yeah, absolutely. Where it's like, you cheated on me.
You do business with
in my relationship, so now you don't get access to the business anymore. It just like gets handed over.
100%. Like if this was a divorce proceeding, like the judge would 100% give you this business. Do you know what I mean?
That's not true, but that's right.
No, I'm saying if it was like a metaphor for like custody, things like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or like, absolutely. Yeah. That makes sense.
A divorce hearing in terms of like, when people are fighting over assets. Do you know what I mean? Like he broke the contract, he fucked up is what I'm trying to say.
That's right.
So anyway, I want to grieve with you the idea that stepping away from this business might be the right thing for your long-term healing and peace in your life, because do you want to be affiliated with that dude forever? But 2, I also want to hold with you the extreme grief and nuance and pain that might come from possibly making that decision. I can't make it for you, but as a stranger over here, I'm thinking, I don't know. I just don't want you to assume that you have to stay in business with him, because our lives are short. Our time is finite, and he is such a disruptor. He's so disrespectful of your peace. And I especially want you to remember that when he is going to be that smooth talking, swear up and down, never going to lie to you again person again. I know you're not going to get back with him, but he's still that person who betrayed you. I know it's complicated. We can't just get up and walk away from our livelihood sometimes. I understand that. And also, I just want to value your peace and value good relationships in your life and champion them for you, so that you don't force yourself to stay in even just a professional relationship with this person longer than you have to.
Absolutely. For sure.
Understanding that it's all really complicated and there might be 100 reasons why you're staying,
Yes, absolutely. Yep. I totally get it. And sometimes we need people to tell us that we have permission to do the difficult thing that feels impossible, right? And we want to say,
that's what we're saying. Yeah,
it's possible for you to get out of this, and you should think about it, because this man has proven himself untrustworthy, and I don't want you to trust him with your heart, and I also don't want to trust you, or I don't want you to trust him with your finances and the future finances of your family and your daughter.
Yes. Yeah. All right, my love. We are so sorry that he put you through this, that his actions and his choices have brought you to this place right here. And we believe that you can rebuild and regrow and heal. And we want you to know that your peace is valuable, that we respect you, and that there are people out there who won't disrespect you like this.
Absolutely. All right, my love. Thank you so much for writing.
We love you so much. We hope this helps.
All right, everyone, it's time for the blind date. This is when we try and set you up with something that we think you're really going to like. And this week, we want to send you home with...
It's a book series, actually.
ACOTAR.
I have been... No, it's not ACOTAR. But it's comparable. It's not at all. It's not spicy. There's like some romance. But let me just give you a quick backstory. Half of you know, or some of you know, that like I listen to audiobooks a lot, and when I don't have a new book to listen to, I listen to the same ones over and over again. Like Game of Thrones, I listen to Game of Thrones like once a year, all of them. I listen to The Hunger Games, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm getting a little burnt out on my go-to faves, okay? And the reason why I like the favorites is because they're familiar, they're well-written, they're action, but because I've already listened to them, I can kind of like zone out. I don't know. They're just something, So I found I think it's technically a YA series, but I actually didn't know that when I started it, and I had to look it up. And I say that just because it doesn't really... It's kind of on that cusp. It feels not more mature, but I didn't know at first. And that might turn you on or turn you off. Maybe you want it to be like super YA in your face. But it's called The Inheritance Games. I'm on book 1. It's by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I'm like more than halfway done. And I am enjoying it because... I think my blind date 2 weeks ago or like a month ago was Agatha All Along, the TV show on Disney. And I was like, I love it because it's like irreverent adventure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's fun and exciting, but like it's not soul crushing. It doesn't make me sob. And this book has just been fun. It's just been like fun. And there's like a little bit of a mystery and like a puzzle to solve. This teenager, Avery, randomly inherits like $80 billion from a philanthropist who dies that she's never met before.
Oh, wow.
And she basically, to receive her inheritance, she has to like move into his estate and live with his, unique grandchildren, and figure out why he left her the money. And he really loved, like, the rich person loved puzzles and riddles and codes. So there's like this like puzzle, like mystery aspect to it. and there's like a little bit of romance, and it's just something to be solved. It's been fun to listen to. I've been into it the whole time. Is it like incredibly profound? Not yet.
We don't need that in these times. We don't need that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly why I'm suggesting it, is because it's been engaging, it's been fun and adventure-y, and it's been unimportant.
I love that.
And I love that it's a series, because then I can like get sucked into the world and stay there for a while. I think there are 3 books, but I'm not confident. Honestly, I'm not even on the first one, so y'all know me. I love to suggest things that I'm not finished with, but so far I've been like, cool, this is a great escapism audiobook to listen to or read if you've got the time, which I don't.
I love it.
It's called The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And I'm sure, like most of my things, it's been out for years.
Probably. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. If you would like more content from us, or if you would like office hours, access to our office hours, you can support us on Patreon. If you support us on Patreon for as little as $5 a month, you'll get an additional bonus weekly episode, as well as access to those office hours. Patreon.com/justbreakuppod.
You can slide into our DM, send us your favorite relationship memes, but most importantly, you can submit your questions about all matters of the heart at justbreakuppod.com, which is also where you can find our merchandise.
Please remember to like, follow, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating and a review. This literally keeps our mics on and helps us reach more brokenhearted souls who need 2 random strangers giving them relationship advice.
Just Break Up is a production of Duvid Media, original music recording, editing, producing, all magical things by our good friend Spencer Worth Davis. Make sure to check out his podcast and his music. And remember, the person who hurt you, when you trusted them, you weren't doing anything wrong. You were doing the most essential thing to our humanity, which is to trust, to see the good, to be vulnerable and lay yourself out at the foot of that person and say, I trust you, right? That is the core of connection, is being vulnerable and trusting. What hurt you was them and their inability to meet you in that vulnerable arena. And if all else fails,
just break up.